All right, everybody. Good morning and welcome to our App State men's basketball pre-NCAA tournament press conference. As most of you know, the Mountaineers are making their third NCAA tournament appearance and the first time since 2000. And last week they won their first Sun Belt Conference title with 4 wins in 4 days down in Pensacola, Florida. We will have head coach Dustin Kerns with us first, and then we will follow that with senior guard Justin Forrest. And media members, if you'll please send me a note in the chat when you have a question, and I will call on media members as we're able to get to you. So, Coach, if you'll give us an opening statement first, please, and then we'll take questions after that.
It's been great being here in Indianapolis and being a part of the NCAA tournament. I'm so happy for our players, and they're getting a chance to experience this and all their hard work paying off. We've got a very good opponent in Norfolk State. They were picked to win the MEAC, and they won it. They've got older guards. They've got an older team. They're very, very well coached. And Robert Jones, this is not their first time in the postseason. But I think it's also great to be part of the first four. Last year with the NCAA tournament being canceled, this is going to be a monumental moment for our entire country, seeing the NCAA tournament back on Thursday, and to be a part of that is really, really exciting. The first NCAA tournament appearance in 1979 when Coach Crimmins brought App State to the NCAA tournament, their site was Bloomington, Indiana. And so here we are again and playing at Bloomington. And so just the irony there, Coach Crimmins is coming up for the game, which is exciting. And so, life comes full circle sometimes and in those regards, but we are, preparing for a very, very good Norfolk State team.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll take our first questions from Ethan Joyce, Winston-Salem Journal.
Dustin, I'm sure your phone has been kind of going off the hook with the messages you got from everybody. But as far as communication with like Coach Crimmins and some of those people that are associated with 79 and 2000, what's that been like for you as these people have probably reached out to you and kind of bridged that gap?
Yeah, it's been great. I talked to Coach Crimmins. I talked to Alvin Gentry. We won it on Monday night. I talked to Alvin Gentry late Tuesday night, just almost in tears with his excitement. I talked to Coach Crimmins on Wednesday. I talked to Daryl Robinson. Daryl Robinson called me on Saturday. Been texting with a lot. I mean, I've gotten probably over 1,000 text messages with overall with stuff. But a lot of former players are so excited, so proud. I mean, I've heard from a ton of them, and certainly we're excited for them too. And that just shows you that when you've got immense pride in your program, that's a sign of a good program. And so, Coach Crimmins, I know I got word yesterday that he's coming up to the game, him and Carolyn, and they're flying up, and so I think that's pretty cool.
Can you talk to the guys at all about just the history that they've made, regardless of what happens in this tournament? Like kind of where they stand in this school's history, or is that too big right now?
No, I did, Ethan. I talked to them. We met every day last week, just briefly as we tested in the home center. We took a couple of days off and we got back to practicing, but I took a couple of those days to talk to them about that. I said, hey, because I had a former player share that with me. He said, hey, tell your guys that they're basically one of 30, 35 guys to ever play in the NCAA tournament in that school's history. And that kind of hit me because I didn't really think about it like that. And so, I shared that with them. And I said, hey, we had a former player say, hey, listen, think about what you guys have done. And so I don't know if it's quite sunk into some yet, but they're experiencing this and now we're in the bubble and, right now I'm in the meeting room, but Texas and Houston and Oregon State and Colorado, I mean, we're all right here together. And so our guys are, we're all it's kind of weird. It's like it's almost like the guys feel like, like what they saw this summer, the NBA bubble, because we're, now we've been in it now a few days and it's starting to really, I think, set in a good way. But our guys have I did talk to him about that. Hey, you're one of 30, 35 players that have played in the NCAA tournament from App State, and so I think some of them, that has sunk in.
Okay, we'll go next to Mike Solarte, Spectrum News.
Thanks, Joey. Hey, Coach, congratulations. Haven't had a chance to talk to you directly since you guys won it all and moved on. But you touched on the fact that it's it's so big. One of 35 guys to play in the tournament, and the happy to be there aspect that you guys have a game to play. And how do you leave that stuff behind and move forward with hey, we got to focus because we don't want to just be here for 40 minutes. We want to win one and then win another. And
did you guys hear me?
Yeah, Mike, I agree, and thank you first of all. We had a chance to kind of enjoy it, and then that's been the message. Hey, listen, we're not just happy to play in it. Let's go make memories. Let's go win the first game and in the NCAA tournament for App State. We're 0-2 career as a program, and so let's go win that first game and make more memories. And so our guys internally we haven't. They're enjoying it, but we haven't talked about that kind of stuff since last week. Now it's been, we've got a game to play. We've already watched film on our opponent. We're doing that again today. We started practicing yesterday, prepping for our opponent. So we're starting to get back in that game mode, but we've kind of moved past those conversations if that answers your question, because it's exactly what you said. We've got a game to play, and we're focused on that now.
And just following that up, as when the selections came out and you guys were part of the first four, what does that feel like to a coach that you're in that first four in what a lot of folks perceive as the play-in round, and you're some say that's not really the tournament, although we do know it is the tournament. It's it's just
we were thrilled. Listen, the committee did its job this year, and every year is different. But this year, a lot of regular season conference champions won their conference tournament, and so I mean, a lot of them: Santa Barbara, Winthrop, Greensboro. They are all the regular. Colgate. They were all the regular season winner, and then they went on to win their conference tournament. And so, we're one of 68, and also our team. Is acknowledged. It's just they really realize now how hard it is to get here. You've got programs like Duke and Kentucky not here, Indiana not here. It's in their own Butler, traditional programs not in the tournament, and so it just shows you that, especially from a one bid league right now, and a very good league in the Sun Belt, that everybody's good. You don't drip down the sidewalk into the NCAA tournament. Everybody in this tournament is really good. And, like Belmont's 26-2. They won they're not even in postseason. They didn't get in the NIT. And so our players are starting to realize, like, wow, like it's just really, really special to certainly play in this tournament and just play in the postseason in general. So we're thankful. We're a program of appreciation. We're thrilled to be part of the first four. When the tournament expanded in 2011 to the first four, VCU was in the first four. They went all the way to the Final Four. There's some great stories out of the first four. Syracuse went to the Sweet 16 a couple years ago. In fact, all years but one, a team has won 2 games. And so for us to be a part of that with, UCLA, Michigan State's on the same night as far as the first four, especially this year, there's going to be so much millions of viewers on this first four because of last year not having a tournament. It's going to be a pretty monumental moment for our country, I think, when we're going to be a part of it on Thursday.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go next to Ian Taylor from the Watauga Democrat.
Coach, multiple times this season, I've asked you about this team's mentality, which you have always had a lot of pride in, their mental toughness and, their will and their drive. has that confidence changed at all, or are you just as confident on how driven your team is right now?
Oh, I'm very confident in our fight. I mean, once again, I think, and I remember showing Ethan and some of those guys last year, we showed a video of rats fighting cats. It's by design. You know, when you take over a program with they've had 8 straight losing seasons and hadn't been an NCAA tournament in 21 years, you've got to develop an identity of just fighting, and it's got to start there, an attitude. And I talked about it since I got here. Do teams hate playing App State? And so I think we've moved closer to that. You know, but I think our fight. I mean, being down 22 at Georgia Southern a couple weeks ago and coming back and winning. We trailed at halftime against Texas State and Coastal in the Sun Belt tournament. Like, I had a fan tell me last week, they said, "Hey, when we would get down before, we would never." They go, "We as fans, we're not rattled. As fans, we know you guys are going to fight back. Doesn't mean you're always going to win, but we know you guys are never out of a game." And so, I thought that was a great compliment to our players. And so, certainly, I feel good about our fight of our team. It's basketball, and there's going to be ups and downs in a game. There's going to be runs, up, down. I mean, but certainly, I think it says a lot about the character of our team. But yeah, we got some fight to us.
And one more thing you referenced, just everything that's gone on this season, not just for App State, but as college basketball as a whole. But the things that your team has had to go through to get to this point. When you look back on it, and you find yourself sitting in Indianapolis, you're about to play in the NCAA tournament. What's that feeling? Just thinking back of everything you had to go through.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people don't know the half of it. I mean, it's a lot. We've been in a classroom all year watching film, meetings. We can't even get in the locker room. A lot of times on the road, we'd go and we'd have food delivered, and we would just go to our rooms to eat, and so you lose some team chemistry at times. The other day on Sunday, I had our team just, hey, we're just going to go out of the meeting room, and I just kind of wanted to see them, and I said, you guys just hang out with one another for a little bit, because they all got their own room here, which I'm sure they enjoy, but you still lose that kind of hanging out and team stuff. And so I just said that, I was like, I didn't really want anything other than just to see and let you guys hang out here in the meeting room. And they just loved it. They hung out here for like 30, 45 minutes joking around. And so, that's the stuff that the people don't really realize, is just being able to just, be yourself and be a team at times. But we're in the middle of a pandemic, and there's protocols, and we're trying to change it. But I've said this from the beginning in August to our team. We got a choice we can make with all this stuff. I said, you guys are going to go through this year stuff that no one's ever gone through, and I said, we can either embrace it or waste it. There's going to be some teams wasted. I'm tired of this testing. I'm going to opt out. I'm tired of all this stuff. I said, so what are we going to do? We're going to embrace it or waste it? And I certainly think our guys have embraced it. I certainly think as well, at some point down the road, 15, 20 years from now, the teams that made it to this tournament, the teams that really made it through this, it's going to be like a badge of honor. Like this year, particularly getting through everything and winning games and just being able to play games was an accomplishment.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go next to Joe Cerrera with Greensboro News and Record.
Thanks for taking the time, Coach. You kind of touched on some of this stuff already, but what is it like being in they don't want us to call it a bubble, it's a controlled environment in Indiana? How do you can't have your normal type of practices? I mean, how does it all mechanically work for you guys there?
It's fun. I think it's cool. I'm sitting there last night. I'm sitting this morning, coming down to our meeting room and talking to the coaches at Colorado that I know. And, Mike Boynton and I, we're both he replaced me at Wofford. the first time around. How cool is that? And now,
Yeah.
Now we're in the same hotel room. So he was on the elevator with my staff. It's like, hey, tell DK I said what's up. And, obviously we'd already exchanged texts and stuff, but like, I think it's really cool. It's like we're all here together, and we're all playing for a national championship, and so it's like, I just think it's cool because we're truly part of a tournament that is special, but this one is even more special because it's so unique. They've never had the tournament in one site, in one city before, which I think's cool, and so I think it's pretty cool to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. Are there any parts of it that you haven't liked, things that you missed, from your past experiences as a coach with this tournament?
Yeah. Normally you get on that charter flight and it's the band and the cheerleaders and it's fans, and it's every seat's full. There's people walking around. But in the past you've got your own hotel, so you don't really ever see anybody. I think it's kind of cool to bump into other people here. But I always, we traveled on 3 buses when we got here. I missed that kind of one bus, and in the past, you would get on that bus and Greg Gumbel would play a video and said, hey, welcome to the NCAA national championship. You're one of 68 teams that's going to win a national championship. Those kind of stuff. And then they start playing one championship. That kind of stuff we haven't had a chance to do yet. Maybe that is part of it, in the next couple of days. I think what it makes you're different. We've got kind of time we found out Sunday, and then we don't play till Thursday. Usually it's kind of even quicker, and so I missed the selection Sunday with your fans, and just people in the arena going crazy and experiencing that. I think that I did miss that, but we'll get back to that. This is just part of it. This is even more of a unique experience. We'll never forget that we were able to watch it together in Indianapolis, and so that's kind of cool. And so I try to just think of stuff as more of a positive outlook, but there's been some stuff with this tournament that I think is even more cool than the other tournaments, and so, like for us today, we get to go practice. Usually you get about 40 minutes normally a year. We get an hour and a half on the court and in the site, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I think there's some cool stuff about this year that I think is more cool than the others.
And you probably don't have to worry about people watching you practice as much as you might normally.
Yeah, usually it's open to the public, and so but there's different experiences, and I'm just having just as great time with this one as the other ones.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for one more for Coach, so we'll go to Howard Fendrick with the Associated Press.
Hi, going back a little bit to that idea of the bubble and restricted movements, stuck in hotel rooms. Just wondering whether you dreamed up anything fun or to help you or your players pass the time when, under these unusual circumstances, they can't do the kinds of things you normally would be in the days leading up to a game.
Yeah, and I mean, they're kids now. I mean, us coaches, we're down here watching film. They're going to take a nap, and they're going to sleep. They're going to watch TV. They're going to probably do that regardless. We've actually got study hall later today. I mean, our guys are zooming into classes. We're not going to change who we are. We're still going to, live by the standards that we're all about if we were home. And I think that's goes into winning, doing that stuff. That we're not entitled to miss class now just because we went to the tournament. We're not entitled to not get out of study hall. And so we're going to still do that stuff. But we're going to have, I think it's really cool. Like, this is the first time I've experienced this. The NCAA delivers you meals at a late night snack at night. And so we've never experienced that before. So like at 9:30, the NCAA delivers, it's been Pizza Hut, and then it's been Wendy's, and it's these big old bags of just, food. And I probably need to skip out on a couple of them, but like our players enjoy that stuff. I mean, that I've never experienced that before, but like they're getting some new experiences. And then we're gonna treat them to some really, really nice meals that they haven't ever probably, been able to experience before. And, I just think there is some different things in the controlled environment, but there's also some stuff that our guys would be doing the same of as well. We're able to kind of get out and go practice, but normally during the day, that they would be doing the same thing that we're doing now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time today.
Go Mountaineers, take the stairs.
And for reporters, we will have senior guard Justin Forrest up next. And just a reminder, if you'll let me know in the chat that you have a question, I'll get to you as we are able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, cool.
Justin, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for
And
having
we'll
me.
see who ends up being our first question. It looks like it's going to be Ethan Joyce from the Winston-Salem Journal.
Hey, Justin. I guess first off, just give us an idea of what it's been like the last few days as far as just kind of getting prepared for this game, but also trying to have fun with the team and really enjoy this moment too.
We're just enjoying everything that comes with it. A lot of people don't get to experience this, and we're very grateful that we are some of the very few that get to experience this. So, we're just taking everything in, enjoying it day by day, and going on.
Coach mentioned that he had even talked to you guys about just the historical thing that you've accomplished, like regardless of what happens at the tournament, like what this team has done in the history of the program. And I wonder if that's resonated with you at all. Is that something you've really thought about here lately? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we know we did something special about, bringing a Sun Belt championship back to Boone, and we're very happy about that. We know we're first team in a long time to make the NCAA tournament here at App. So we've accomplished some things, but we definitely have more things to accomplish and very capable of doing so.
Give us a view of Norfolk State and what you guys have kind of learned about them since the assignment came out on Sunday.
We watched a few clips on them. They're a very good team. Got a lot of good players. More of a veteran team than we've played a lot against so far this year. So we're still watching film on them, and we'll still learn about them some more today and as the days to come.
All right, we'll go next to Joe Cerrera with Greensboro News and Record.
And thanks for taking the time, Justin. You talked a little bit about what it's like there. Are there any things that you miss about, or you feel like you're missing about the experience of being in the NCAA tournament because of the controlled environment, the bubble, whatever you want to call it?
This is my first NCAA tournament. I've had like friends and things that have been here, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'm missing anything. Like I said, we're all just blessed to be here and be a part of it. And so far, it's been a great experience and it's been fun. Even while in the bubble, you still walk by and see all of these teams that you see on TV playing every year. And, just to be a part of this field of 68 is an accomplishment in itself, and it's very fun being here.
What's the biggest challenge of kind of keeping your mind right and staying focused with things just being a little weird and being in a different environment?
You get a lot of downtime on your hands, in between practice and meals and stuff. So, you get to rest a little bit from a long season that all these teams have had. I wouldn't say necessarily say I'm missing anything. It's just, like I said, it's just fun to be here.
Mm-hmm. Is it good in any way? Does it help you focus and zero in a little bit more?
I definitely think so. I know a lot of our guys, we watch individual film by ourselves on these teams that we play, just to get a different feel and a different viewpoint from what our coaches. Obviously, they do a very, very good job of educating us on the teams that we're playing. But, like I said, with all this downtime, I think it's a better way to focus in. You get more time on your hands to do so.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go next to Mike Solarti, Spectrum News.
Thanks, Joey. Hey, Justin, congratulations on cutting down the nets and getting an opportunity to play in the tournament. You talked about being in the controlled environment and seeing all those other teams and how cool that is. But has it set in that you guys belong with these teams, that you guys earn the right to be walking around this tournament with these guys and these other schools and being, in the field?
It definitely has. Before, even after winning the Sun Belt, it took a while to even let that settle in. And we've been here for I think 3 days now, and I mean we definitely know and feel like we belong here. It took a lot of hard work just to win our conference, and like Coach always says, nobody's here by luck. Everybody who's here is a good team, and they've deserved the right to be here.
Okay, we'll go next to Howard Fendrick with the Associated Press.
Hi, Justin. Thanks for doing this. Just wanted to ask about, you mentioned kind of being stuck in your hotel since you got there. I'm just wondering if you're doing anything fun to help pass the time.
I mean, we've just been, still doing a lot of schoolwork that we've been having. So, been doing that and just watching a lot of basketball on TV and a lot of Netflix. So that's all we could do.
Anything good on Netflix I should watch?
We actually just finished the Last Chance U basketball episode, little documentary series on there. So it's pretty good.
The one of the sort of famous parts of the NCAA tournament that people at home are watching for at the end after the title game is one shining moment. Just wondering if that's something over the years you've looked forward to seeing. Is that something you'd love to maybe be a part of this time around now that you're in the tournament? And over the years, I mean, do you know that song? Do you hum that to yourself when you're practicing or on a playground or when you were a kid even? Do you remember it?
Yeah, we actually heard it when we won the Sun Belt down in Pensacola. So it was a fun thing to hear that. A lot of guys were singing along and just enjoying the moment. So we would definitely love to be a part of that.
Thanks.
Justin, I'll actually chime in with a question. So have you had the opportunity to talk with any friends, maybe from back in your high school days or from other schools that have been to the NCAA tournament and gleaned any insights from them about how this tournament runs?
Not particularly about how it runs, just a lot of guys just congratulating me. I actually have a high school teammate who's up here now who plays for UNC Greensboro. And we were just talking about how it's just fun to, be here and experience this. So we're just enjoying it and soaking it up and taking every moment step by step.
Thank you. We'll go next to Kyle Kensing.
Justin, with playing those 4 games in 4 days to make it here to this point, how physically taxing is that at the end? Or kind of on the flip side, do you kind of wish that, you were jumping into this first 4 game, immediately after those wins?
I wouldn't say it was taxing at the time, but during that time, Coach did a really good job of helping us take care of our bodies, our trainer as well. We got what we needed to get done in practice, and we've had a lot of time off since those, I think about a week or so since those times. So, everybody's been taking care of their bodies, getting fully recovered. And I think it's actually to our advantage that we get to play in this first 4 game, get our feet wet a little bit. Because we did the same thing in the tournament. We didn't get a bye or anything. We had that first game on that first day, and I think it really helped us and gave us an advantage to win the Sun Belt.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Justin this morning? Looks like we're all good. Thanks for your time.
Thank you all.
Okay, appreciate everybody's attendance, and we'll see you next time.